Hello.
Good evening, Phoenix. Good evening, Phoenix. Good evening, Phoenix. Are you ready for some playoff roller derby? I, as always, am old Greg, and it is a pleasure to be here this evening. Welcome to the Hall of Dames. The Arizona Derby Dames are the only league offering you fast-paced bank track roller derby in the state of Arizona.
And I'm Chingadora. Tonight is a doubleheader to see who goes to the championship game in 2 weeks. All of these teams have worked hard this entire season for a chance to play for the trophy. The first game of the night will be the defending champions, the Runaway Brides versus the Brutal Beauties. Game number 2 tonight will be the Coffin Draggers versus those playground bullies, the Schoolyard Scrappers. Both games will be super exciting, but some ground rules first. Please, no whistling as it interrupts the game. Please keep in mind that when in line for the bathroom, skaters take priority. For the safety of our skaters and yourself, please keep your body parts outside of the track. With that being said, we're going to get this party started here in a few moments. Looks like our regulators are checking the teams for safety.
While that is taking place, we'd like to introduce the team that we couldn't do this without, literally the team we couldn't do this without, because if we tried to devolve into chaos and anarchy, that's our referees, the regulators. First up, game executioner, Freya Hugs.
Jam referee Hoover Slam.
Front pack referee, Infidel Castro.
Backpack referee Meryl Streak.
Outside pack referee, Lucifer.
Outside pack referee Ref Boy RD.
Penalty tracker, Optical Delusion.
Penalty tracker assist Crush.
Penalty box admin, Daddy Mike.
Penalty box admin Whomping Willow.
On whiteboard, Mimi Mahler.
Eye in the sky Racy Tracy.
Eye in the sky, Scully Glassbones.
On scoreboard Bender B Rodriguez.
And on stats, Panic Attack.
At Jam referee your regulators co-captain Stabitha Christie.
And your captain of the regulators as head referee for the first bout tonight, Lollipop.
Show some love for your regulators. They may be the only love they get all night. While that is going on, we'd like to go ahead and queue up our tryouts video for your watching pleasure.
All right, Derby fans, we are about ready to get going, and we're going to step into team intros for your first bout this evening. It is the number 4 seed, Brutal Beauties, going up against the number 1 seed, Runaway Brides. And now, taking the track for introductions, the Brutal Beauties. Skating tonight for the ladies in pink, number 103, Abby Arsenic. Number 92, Alpha Gunadekya. Number 26, Beautiful Trauma. Number 244, Dammit Jammit. Number 925, Evil Twin. Number 9 MK3, Gypsy Danger. Number 011, Hittori Hanzo. Number 602, Lady Macbeth. Number 440, Morning Madness. Number 2323, Quiver Phoenix. Number 97, Rigamaroo. Number 666, your co-captain, Witchy Woman. And number 2187, your captain of the Brutal Beauties, Princess Leia. Helping the team on their bench tonight, our bench coach, Effin Riot, penalty manager, Gash Wednesday. Not skating for the Beauties tonight, number 5150, Alibi, and number 717, Rocky Horror.
And now taking the track, your reigning champs, the Runaway Brides. Sorry. Number 772, I'll annihilate ya. Number 501, Anita Margarita. Number 3, Goldie Blocks. Number 623, Holly Hood. Number 100, Cryptic Cali. Size 9, La Chancla. Number 95, Lightning the Queen. 13, Little Bo Reap. 113, Lux Breaker. Number 192, Milani Mangler. Number 213, Militia. Number 1221, Pretty Please. Number 2115, Watermelon. Your co-captain tonight, 00, Nova Kane. And your captain, number 1, Ellie Mayhem. Helping the team on their bench tonight, our bench coach, Cherry Kiss, and penalty manager, Troy McClure. Not skating tonight, number 7813, Lumbre de la Luna, and 714, Ash Over Teacup.
Derby fans, please rise for the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem singer is Stephen Evans. Stephen is the brother of Becca Recker, who skates for the Doomsday Valkyries. Stephen has been a music lover all of his life and has recently set his sights on contributing his own creations to the great world of music. But for tonight, he will sing our country's national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I get nervous sometimes, I get.
We still have a few minutes before we're going to get started for tonight, before that first whistle. So if you are hungry, head on outside for Off the Hook Taco Truck, which is a locally owned and operated taco truck serving SoCal Baja-inspired cuisine. They have chicken and vegetarian options available as well. Visit them outside if you're hungry for something delicious.
in the palm, spinning it like this. I'm just like, that is hilarious.
All right, that's the whistle for the first jam of the first bout of tonight. We've got Cryptic Kelly lining up for the Runaway Brides as your jammer up against Princess Leia for the Beauties.
These two teams are competing for a chance to move forward to the championships in 3 weeks. 2 weeks. I can count.
For those of us that are watching roller derby for the first time, each team renders 5 skaters out at one time during each jam. The jammer with the star on the helmet is the only one that can score points. Princess Leia, as she approaches the pack here in pink with the star on her helmet, is going to try to pass each opposing player to pick up some points for her team, while the blockers from the other team are trying to stop her.
The jammer for each team becomes an active scorer once they have exited the pack the first time, as you saw there. And the jammer who exits first is called the lead jammer, and they have the option to call off the jam before the clock expires if they're the lead jammer. And that's kind of Derby 1.0 as we get started with our second jam here. That is Witchy Woman jamming for the Brutal Beauties.
And Ellie Mayhem for the Brides, who is now your lead scorer, your lead jammer coming around. She was able to break out of that pack there in turn 1 and is going to come up to pick up some points. She can only score points after she breaks out of the pack and then passes opposing players that second go round and sometimes third, sometimes even fourth time.
Witchy Woman out of the pack as well, and you saw there that Ellie Mayhem called off the jam rather than letting Witchy Woman score any points. Ellie Mayhem able to pick up 3 points. She was able to get her hips in front of 3 opposing skaters on her scoring pass. So your score right now, Brutal Beauties 4, Runaway Brides 3.
Looks like Militia picked up a penalty during that last jam, so the Brides are going to be down 1 blocker. As Goldilocks breaks out of that pack as your lead jammer here in the front, coming around for her first scoring pass. Quiver Phoenix trapped behind the Runaway Brides defense. Goldilocks able to run out there on that high and come around for some more. Meanwhile, Phoenix still trapped in that pack, trying to break past Al Annihilate and Hollywood.
Goldilocks now approaching the pack on her way down the front straightaway. She has already got 5 points in the book, and now completing another scoring pass. She passed all 5 members of the Brutal Beauties. That's going to be another 5 points for Goldilocks.
We are seeing some hard hitting and some very fast action right from the beginning. Welcome to the playoffs, everybody.
And that's going to do it. The 60-second jam clock expires. Now you do see on their way skating around the inner perimeter of the infield, as well as several of them on the infield and a few of them outside the track. That's our referees, the regulators. And they keep things going. There are various penalties that can be assessed for everything from stopping on the track to hitting another skater illegally.
So it looks like a couple of those Brides blockers picked up penalties during that last jam, so they're down 2 blockers, which means they can only send 2 blockers out to block and a jammer. You're going to see Milani Mangler coming around here for her first scoring pass. Abby Arsenic jamming for the Brutal Beauties right now, trying to get past Lightning the Queen on the backside. Lightning the Queen doing a great job of holding that defense in the back alone. Abby Arsenic trying to get past her. Meanwhile, Milani Mangler able to break out of that pack again.
And we are going to have a stoppage in play there. We did have a skater take a tumble there. It looks like she got
some technical difficulties here.
Very securely hung up there on the track. Took the better part of a minute and a half to get her freed. So that jam does come to an end for skater safety. 5 points scored by the Runaway Brides there during that jam. And we will take a second here. This is an official timeout now.
Looks like the Brutal Beauties are going to be down 1 blocker for this next jam. They will only be sending 3 blockers out and a jammer. It's going to be 3-on-4 with the Brides the advantage. Blockers line up in the box towards the front. Jammers line up over here in the back. Jammers are the only ones that can score points with the star on their helmet. Nice. Anita Margarita able to break out there on that low side. very quickly. Beautiful lateral done by our rookie skater, Anita Margarita, coming around for her first scoring pass. Anita Margarita hopping right on through on that inside, coming around for more. Gypsy Danger trying to get past Callie, and Pretty Please here in the front. Nice strong defense by the Brides. Hollywood joining them to form a 3-wall while Anita's in the back trying to break out. And she's able to run out on that high.
Anita Margarita now making her way down the front straightaway, runs into a couple of Brutal Beauties blockers and is kind of spun down towards the infield trying to complete a scoring pass. Goes ahead and calls off the jam with the Brutal Beauties jammer making her way around the far turn. "13 points scored during that jam by Anita Margarita for the Runaway Brides. And it looks like coming to the jammer line now is going to be Hitori Hanzo for the Brutal Beauties. But before we get to that, and before we get to the Runaway Brides jammer, it is going to be an official timeout. The regulators are going to take a second to talk over some of the action there. Looks like we had a penalty called by our outside pack referee at the end of the front straightaway, so we're going to make sure everything is set and penalties are properly assessed.
While we are waiting for the game to resume, be sure to visit the Arizona Derby Dames merch booth to get your favorite league and team merchandise. We have t-shirts, tank tops, hats, koozies, as well as stickers and buttons of your favorite team. Head on over to the merch booth for all of those goodies.
One of our longtime league sponsors, Lost Dutchman Tattoo Shop, specializes in various styles from realism to traditional. You can even customize your own tattoo. I did. Walk-ins are accepted. I did. Located at 4121 North 19th Avenue. That's the east side of 19th Avenue, north of Indian School Road. Don't forget, of course, the big giveaway in the prize raffle. Those raffle prize tickets that they are coming around and selling. The big prize, as always, is a $300 gift card to Lost Dutchman Tattoo.
That's a whole tattoo. Here we go. The whistle for the next jam. Ellie Mayhem jamming for your Runaway Brides.
And it's Hitori Hanzo out there once again for the Brutal Beauties. And the jam is underway.
Ellie Mayhem running on that inside untouched.
Hitori Hanzo looking for an opening. Couple of black jerseys up there blocking the way and not letting her through.
Ellie Mayhem able to break past that hit that Witchy tried to lay on her to the inside. Hitori Hanzo still trying to fight her way past that defense. As Ellie Mayhem approaches for another scoring pass.
Hitori Hanzo still hemmed in behind those blockers at the front of the pack. In bank track roller derby, blockers do have to be no more than 20 feet from the main pack to be able to actually block skaters. So if they can get those front blockers separated out far enough, they have to stop blocking and let the jammer through. So far, they've managed to keep themselves within range as the jam clock comes to a close.
And that's the jam.
15 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. And on the jammer line is going to be, it's a 602 versus 623. It's Central Valley versus West Valley. Number 602 for the Brutal Beauties, Lady Macbeth, and number 623 for the Runaway Brides, Holly Hood. Select your geography as this jam gets underway.
Hollywood trying to fight her way past and is able to break through on that high side, running straight on through. Meanwhile, Lady Macbeth trying to fight her way past those last defensive blockers. Princess Leia trying to deliver some offense for her jammer as Hollywood approaches the pack for her first scoring pass.
Hollywood keeps her balance going along the inside, absorbing a block from that Brutal Beauties blocker along the inside, and Hollywood completes a scoring pass. Lady Macbeth is still trying to find her way through. Hollywood finds an opening along the outside rail, and she shoots through on another scoring pass.
Princess Leia and Phoenix trying to play offense for Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is out of the pack. Hollywood close behind her, trying to get that point, and she gets it.
And the jam clock expires as Hollywood making her way around to attempt another scoring pass, but runs out of time in the process. Another 15 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. That's 3 completed scoring passes. Coming up to the jammer line now for the Brides is number 213, Militia.
We've got Rue on that jammer line for the Beauties. Got some, got some shuffling around, pulling some people off the track for some penalties as the jam starts. Militia and Rue trying to fight their way through. And Militia breaks out. She is your lead jammer for this jam.
Rigamaru up to the front of the pack now, trying to find her way through. That's her pivot taking a tumble there. And Rigamaru bumped off onto the infield by the pack as they come on through. As your jammer for the Runaway Brides completes a scoring pass. Militia coming around for some more with 23 seconds left on the jam clock. Rigamaru trying to get past that last blocker. So far, hemmed in. And that'll do it for the jam clock. Militia coming in, trying to pick up a few more points. And we will wait for the official score from the infield.
Cryptic Callie taking that jammer line for the Brides for the first time tonight. Second time tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Princess Leia taking the jammer line for your Beauties.
That was a 12-point jam there for the Brides. Militia able to pick up a couple more points at the back end of that jam. And shaking loose and clearing. It's going to be a bit of a jammer race now. Both jammers are loose. Out first is Princess Leia, now on her way back to the pack to see about getting some points. And she goes ahead and calls it off. Runaway Brides had formed an impenetrable wall at the back of the pack there. And Princess Leia was not going to have much luck no matter where she tried to get through there. So she went ahead and called it off rather than surrendering any points to Cryptic Callie. On the jammer line now for the Brides is going to be Milani Mangler. And jamming for the Brutal Beauties, that's Evil Twin.
All right, we've got Milani Mangler trying to get through the front, and the Beauties did a great job of recycling in front of her. She was almost out. Abby Arsenic doing a great job of keeping that jammer in.
Fun fact, trying to find a way through at the back of the pack, Evil Twin hemmed in there and dumped on the ground unceremoniously by Lightning the Queen.
Evil Twin stuck behind Lightning the Queen in the back. She's able to make it past her and almost out of the pack. But again, we've got some great recycling in the front for the Brides as Milani Mangler races through for another scoring pass.
And that'll do it for that jam as the clock expires. 8 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. It's going to be Anita Margarita for the Brides.
We've got Anita Margarita jamming for the Brides up against Gypsy for the Beauties. Anita Margarita running on that high side, able to get past those two Beauties. Wow, Anita Margarita able to avoid coming off the track there from that hit. Gypsy Danger trying to get past Al Annihilator here on the backside as Anita approaches for another scoring pass.
And there's Anita Margarita finishing off a scoring pass, dodging a block from Beautiful Trauma there in the turn, and able to get through the pack. 13 seconds to go on the jam clock. Anita Margarita now along the inside, gets almost clear of it, gets taken down there by a block by that last Brutal Beauties blocker. Anita Margarita gets one back, though, and that'll do it for the jam. And it appears that we are going to have our first power jam for the Runaway Brides. A power jam takes place when there is a penalty called on a jammer. Before we get to that, we are going to have a timeout, and it is an official timeout, so they're going to go over some of those penalties assessed during that last jam. If a jammer picks up a penalty, then they have to sit out the next jam, and their team doesn't get a jammer. So that means that only the Runaway Brides are going to have a point scorer out there, so they're going to be the only team able to score points in the next jam. As I mentioned earlier, this is one of your first times watching Derby. Penalties can be assessed for several things. Illegal blocking, such as blocking in the back. There's a blocking out of bounds. Skating out of bounds. There's cut track, meaning you exited and then moved forward on the track before getting back on the track. Things along those lines. Things that are self-explanatory, like fighting and unsporting conduct. All sorts of things can get you a penalty in bank track roller derby, so you got to skate clean. And if you assess 7 penalties, you have fouled out of the bout. We're ready to get back to the action, and we're going to pick things up with this power jam for the Runaway Brides. Brutal Beauties have a jammer and 2 blockers in the penalty box, so they are skating with a minimum. Just 2 skaters out there for the Brutal Beauties. Ellie Mayhem is doing the honors for the Brides.
Oh, man. Ellie Mayhem able to break out there on that low side. The Beauties were up on the high side. Now we've got Rigamaru and Mads preparing for Ellie to come around again for another scoring pass, but she's able to break out on that high side with some good offense from her teammates. During a power jam, there is only one jammer on the track. She is the only one that can score points, so during this entire 60 seconds, only the Brides get points. The Beauties are going to want to get together to block her, but the Brides are also trying to keep them separate. Ellie Mayhem able to come around for another scoring pass right as the whistle blows.
We will wait for the official score there on that power jam. And it is a full 25 points in the power jam for the Runaway Brides. 5 scoring passes completed. Stepping up to the jammer line for what will most likely be the last jam of the first quarter, that's going to be Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties and Hollywood for the Runaway Brides. Hollywood quickly to the front of the pack and is able to spring free as your lead jammer for the Brides. Now shaking loose out of the pack as well. There goes Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties. Big collision, couple of skaters taking a tumble. There's a rogue skate wheel kind of rolling down the track all by its lonesome now. And across onto the infield. Plucked up off the track there, and the jam comes to a close as Hollywood calls it off. Quite the collision there. There was literally a skate wheel just continuing on its own volition down the track. That sort of thing is going to happen at roller derby. 4 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. Takes our score as we step aside for the quarter break to 125-4.
I can do it. All right. If I can get the raffle screen on up, we're going to go ahead and call our first raffle prize for the night, which is going to be a your pick situation. So you're going to want to come on over to the raffle table, which is located to my left-hand side. Ticket number 897849. Ticket number 897849. Come and claim your raffle prize over at the raffle table. Thank you.
Derby fans, don't look now, but it's the merchandise crew. Your minor assaults are on the track to throw all sorts of merchandise directly at your face. So get out there and let them know if you'd like to get some. They're not going to throw it at your face. I'm just kidding. This is not going to be a Simpsons type thing. Anyway, they've got free swag. I don't have my glasses on, but Black Eyed Please is definitely waving something in the air. It's a seat cushion, I hear. And there's the seat. Please, you got to throw it at some point. I mean, let's let her hear it. She hasn't heard enough to throw that seat cushion yet. And she throws it, and it bounces back on the track. And that is amazing. Look at that thing. The seat cushion caught a breeze and went to the ticket booth. Oh, my goodness. We are ready to get back to the action. Old Greg is so blind. I just turned to look to see who was jamming, and I went, oh, my glasses aren't on. I couldn't see anything. Jamming for the Runaway Brides is Milani Mangler. And the jammer for the Brutal Beauties got too far away before I saw who it was. Lady Macdeath, I am told by the scoreboard operator, Binder B. Rodriguez. Don't worry, everybody. I'm having an eye exam in 2 weeks to get new glasses. That's actually a true story. Shaking loose is Milani Mangler from the pack for the Runaway Brides, and she's your lead jammer. The pack making their way now into the front straightaway. Novocaine at the front of the pack, out of play. And Lady Macdeath is given the wave by. Milani Mangler now finishing her scoring pass and calls off the jam. You see that signal with the hands from the top of the helmet to the hips, up and down. That's signaling to call off the jam. Stepping up now to the jammer line is going to be Hollywood for the Runaway Brides. For the Brutal Beauties, number 97, Rigamaru.
All right, with each of the teams down a blocker because of penalties, it's going to be 3-on-3 in that blocker box. Rigamaru trying to go on that high side as Hollywood carves her way down and then up the track, and she is out of the pack. Rigamaru taking a hard hit from Annihilation to the infield as Hollywood approaches for her first scoring pass, and she's able to hop her way on through that high side.
Hemmed in the pack, Rigamaru able to find an opening, and Rigamaru clears the pack. Hollywood now crashing into some of those Beauties blockers, taking a hard shot. And Hollywood clinging to that inside coping and calls off the jam. You've got to be on the track. You've got to have at least one skate wheel on the track to call off the jam. And you can see her keeping her balance there as she called it off. 9 points on the board for Hollywood and the Runaway Brides. That's going to be Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties. And for the Runaway Brides, it's number 1, Ellie Mayhem. Captain on captain battle here, and Ellie Mayhem shakes clear of the pack for the Brides. And Ellie Mayhem completing a scoring pass for the Runaway Brides now. Princess Leia up to the front of the pack, trying to get around that front wall of blockers for the Runaway Brides. Is very rudely shoved up onto the infield there. Heck of a block by Lightning the Queen on the back end of the pack. Ellie Mayhem makes her way through the pack with 20 seconds to go on this jam clock.
Princess Leia able to find her way out there on that inside and run right through. As they both approach the pack, it looks like there might have been a chance for her to have picked up any points, but I see none. Brides picking up another 12 points, bringing their score to 150. Brutal Beauties 4.
Setting up the jam now for the Runaway Brides is number 501, Anita Margarita.
And Abby Arsenic for your Brutal Beauties. Abby Arsenic getting trapped behind Annihilation here on the back end of the pack, while Anita Margarita is greeted by a 3 defensive wall of Beauties. And Anita Margarita is able to break right on out there on that inside. Oh! Hard hits. Abby Arsenic able to break through, while Anita comes up for her first scoring pass. Very fast pack right now. Melania Mangler lining up to the jammer line for your Brides.
And for the Brutal Beauties, that is Quiver Phoenix. It is Quiver Phoenix. There's that number. Quiver Phoenix for the Brutal Beauties. And quickly around the outside, that's your Runaway Brides jammer clearing the pack and taking off. That's Melania Mangler. And now Melania Mangler quickly up to the pack, trying to find her way through on a scoring pass, able to finish that off. Quiver Phoenix now in the back of the pack, dealing with that pair of blockers of the Runaway Brides, who now unite up with another one of their blockers, trying to keep Quiver Phoenix from making her way through.
As Melania Mangler approaches for a scoring pass.
And Melania Mangler through the pack, past that last blocker at the front end of things with 12 seconds to go here in this jam. And that'll do it for that jam clock. It expires as Milani Mangler makes her way through and completes another scoring pass. So we will set up for the next jam. 15 points up on the board for the Runaway Brides. This is going to be Hitori Hanzo jamming for the Brutal Beauties. And jamming for the Runaway Brides,
Little Bo Reap. Little Bo Reap able to make her way all the way to the front and push those beauties out of the pack. She's able to break through here in turn 2 as Hitori Hanzo fights her way through and is able to run right on through the center.
and Little Bo
Hitori
Reap,
almost making it to pick up some points.
Little Bo Reap calls the jam off with Hitori Hanzo gaining fast there along the back straightaway. 3 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. They are going to send Ellie Mayhem to the jammer line to go up against Gypsy Danger for the Brutal Beauties.
We've got Ellie Mayhem on the jammer line for your brides up against Gypsy Danger for your beauties. Ellie Mayhem trying to carve her way down and then up the track and is able to get out on that high side here before turn 1. Well, Gypsy Danger taking a hit from Lightning the Queen and then Slaya also delivering a hit on Lightning the Queen to try and get her jammer out. Gypsy Danger able to break out here in the straightaway as Ellie Mayhem approaches for a scoring pass. She is greeted by some beauties defense, but she's able to break out, score her points, and call off the jam.
Nine points up on the board for the Runaway Brides. Stepping up to the jammer line now is going to be Cryptic Callie for the Runaway Brides. And no jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Jammer pulled down, penalty on their jammer in the last jam, so it's a power jam for Cryptic Callie and the Runaway Brides with 7:09 to go before halftime.
Brides doing their best at keeping the beauties apart. Each one of them taking one on to keep them all separate. Some hard hits, some weird falls, but Callie is able to break through. It's going to come around for some more points. And we've got a wall of beauties in the front. That jammer is able to break on through with some offense provided by the Brides. She still has enough time, I believe, to make it one more scoring pass. Beauties doing their best at trying to build a wall against that jammer. And that's the jam.
Stepping up to jam now for the Brutal Beauties is going to be Princess Leia. And jamming for the Runaway Brides, that's going to be
Watermelon. Looks like the Beauties are going to be down one blocker for this jam. 4-on-3 with the Brides the advantage. Oh, Princess Leia able to run right on through the high side. She literally jumped over those skaters. That was so cool. We've got a little bit of a jammer race. Watermelon's about a quarter of a track behind her. Sleia's able to almost pick up her points and call it. She gets back on the track quickly and calls it. Everything happened so fast.
now jamming for the Runaway Brides is going to be Little Bo Reap. And she's got a power jam. It's going to be a power jam for the Runaway Brides once again. Penalty called on Princess Leia in the last jam. And this power jam is underway. No points for the beauties in that last jam. They determined that she passed those skaters while she was off the track, so she did not get points for the skaters that she passed.
Little Bo Reeve approaching a wall of defense. Got a weird spill there. She's able to break through that pack here in turn 3 and come around for some more. She still has 25 seconds left on the clock. Gypsy Danger doing a great job of recognizing where to be on that track as that jammer approached, but Little Bo Reap was able to break out on that low. And that's the jam.
It's a 15-point power jam for the Runaway Brides. Pushes them up over 200 for the bout. Now stepping up to the jammer line. Well, before we get to that. And it's going to be a team timeout. Brutal Beauties taking a team timeout to talk things over. So we'll step aside from the action here momentarily. We'd like to let you know, fans, don't forget you've got lots of food options coming up here at halftime. The Minor Assaults are selling popcorn for $1 a bag. That popcorn machine is down there just outside of turn number 2. Down there just underneath the Arizona Derby Dames mural. $1 a bag for that popcorn. And, of course, the Minor Assaults also today are doing the Golden Egg Grab in honor of tomorrow being Easter. For $20, you get a chance to plunge your hand in and pick out an egg. There's gift cards and all sorts of fabulous prizes. The grand prize in the Golden Egg Grab is tickets to Disneyland. So that is a possibility for the Golden Egg Grab. Once again, $20 an egg at the Golden Egg Grab tonight, and all proceeds benefit our national champion Minor Assaults as they continue their defense of their 2018 championship.
Who's here to watch roller derby? We've got Militia taking the jammer line for your brides up against Beautiful Trauma for your beauties. Another one of our awesome rookies this season. We've got Militia trying to run out on that high side. Trauma takes a spill to the infield, but gets back up and is trying to break out. Ellie Mayhem says no. And takes her down to that infield as Militia approaches for her first scoring pass. Beautiful Trauma almost able to push Nova out there on the front side. And she is out.
And clear in front of her is Militia. So Militia checking around behind her with 10 seconds to go on the jam clock. Militia looking around, going to try to get up here and get a couple points. And there's a brief lead change there as Beautiful Trauma up into the pack takes over as lead jammer and calls things off. So 2 points up on the board there for the Brutal Beauties. Wait,
oh no, party foul. Turn the lights on. Thank you.
So the Brutal Beauties put a couple points up on the board here, and stepping up to the jammer line is going to be Witchy Woman for the Brutal Beauties, and jamming for the Runaway Brides is Anita Margarita.
And both of the jammers are out of the pack, but Anita Margarita has some good jammer awareness and was able to call it off before Witchy passed her.
So we will get ready for the next jam. We're setting up one more time. Milani Mangler will be jamming for the Runaway Brides.
Up against Looks like it's Lady Macbeth. Lady Mac. She's so cool. Milani Mangler able to run right on that inside despite Phoenix's attempts to take her down. Lady Mac trying to break past Ellie Mayhem and Lightning the Queen. Princess Leia trying to play some offense there for her jammer. Meanwhile, in the back, we've got some beauties trying to block that other jammer. And our latest rookie taking a hard spill to the infield as well. Alpha gonna deck you out there in the pack. Her first bout tonight. It's a tough bout to join in playoffs. But she's holding her own. She's fine. Lady Mac still trying to break out there of the pack on the front, and she is out of the pack.
And Milani Mangler finishes that scoring pass and calls off the jam. Quarter clock has expired, so this will be the last jam of the first half, and it's going to be a power jam for the Runaway Brides. Holly Hood all by her lonesome out there.
Holly Hood taking that jammer line for the Brides. She's got them fancy feet, able to run out there on that high side. I like watching her skate because it looks like she's just kind of jam skating out there.
Holly Hood now runs into a little bit of defense there on the back end of the pack. Runaway Bride's able to put a little bit of a wall together. And now Holly Hood trying to find an opening. Some instructions being shouted out to the team now as Holly Hood makes her way through and completes the scoring pass. 20 seconds to go here in the power jam and in the half. Holly Hood now up to the pack, trying to find her way through to finish off this scoring pass. And she goes ahead and calls off the jam, and that's going to do it for the first half.
Don't worry, friends. It is halftime of your first bout of the night, and we have a special halftime show for you, so please stay tuned for our upcoming halftime show.
Oh, there we are. Hey. Yeah, it's definitely what it is. Remember I said calendar year? I didn't say when in the calendar year, though. For those who don't know me, I'm Mr. Rue. Me and Rue here have been dating for about a year and a half. We've been best friends for about 15, though. So this is kind of like a about time moment for us. All right, well. Will you marry me? Hey, she said yes.
I'm not wearing that until after the game?
Yeah, you want to put it on first? Though?
Sure.
All right, Derby fans, for the recently betrothed, can I get everybody to join me in a rigamaroo? And now back to the clerical stuff. It is time to give away our halftime raffle prize. So get those raffle tickets ready, and your raffle ticket winner at halftime is going to be 897-840. 897-840. Come on down to the prize table. I heard a woo, so I believe somebody won. Also, the 50-50 cash raffle already up to $250. That's $125 to you. and 125 to our national champion minor assaults. So keep hitting that cash raffle. That is going to keep building all night long. Also coming around again, it's your merchandise crew. You know what to do. Hoot and holler if you'd like to get yourself some free Derby Dame swag. All right, Derby fans, we are ready to get back to the action. We wanted to let you know as we are ready to get started here, as we start to pick up a little bit of a crowd as people who are coming for the late bout are arriving. Please remember at all times during bout action, which is going to be from about 2 seconds from now until the end of the quarter, during game action, you have to remain behind that yellow line on the ground around the track. There's a lot of reasons for that. It's for your own safety, so you don't get hit by anything. And it's also to keep you out of the way of our outside the pack referees and our photography crew. So if you're supposed to be on the other side of that yellow line, on the track side of that yellow line, you'll know. So if you're not sure, you're not supposed to be. So once again, remain behind that yellow line at all times from now until the end of the quarter, and everything will be hunky-dory. We've got Ellie Mayhem on the jammer line for the Runaway Brides, and the Brutal Beauties also have a jammer out there.
Gypsy Danger jamming for the Beauties. Almost past that last blocker, but again, the Brides doing a great job of recycling in front of that jammer. Oh, Gypsy Danger almost out. Oh, she goes down to one knee, and she is out of that pack as Ellie Mayhem approaches for her first scoring pass.
Ellie Mayhem finishes that scoring pass and goes ahead and calls off the jam. Good action there. You saw
Recently engaged Rigamaru taking that jammer line.
Yeah, I was going to say, you stole my joke, Dora.
Oh,
I was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
say, fun fact about Rigamaru. Of the Brutal Beauties, she is the most recently engaged to be wed. You got me. Anyway, yes, Rigamaru on the jammer line for the Brutal Beauties.
Anita Margarita jamming for the Brides. She breaks out of that pack there in turn 2. Anita Margarita, your lead jammer for this jam.
Rigamaru down to the infield. Rigamaru says, can I get by? And she said no. Now trying to fight her way through at the front of the pack still. No, bumped again and trying to find an opening. Anita Margarita along the inside, proving shifty enough to get on by that first blocker of the Brutal Beauties with 22 seconds left on the jam clock.
Holly Hood able to hit Rue down to the infield.
Holly Hood again bumping Rigamaru off into the infield. That is not the kind of deposit to the wedding registry that they are looking for, Holly Hood. Terrible. I kid, I kid. 10 points on the board for the Runaway Brides during that jam. It is going to be jamming for the first time tonight, Lightning the Queen, number 97.
Princess Leia jamming for the Beauties. Princess Leia almost out of that pack. Ellie Mayhem delivering a hit, almost taking her down, but she is out. Lightning the Queen just a little bit behind her, but Leia wants those points. So she's going to try to get some points and call it off quickly. I don't know if she was able to pick up any points or not, but I don't see the jam ref holding up any fingers, unfortunately.
Stepping up to the jammer line now for the Runaway Brides, number 100, Cryptic Callie, and for the Brutal Beauties, number 011, Hattori Hanzo.
Looks like the Brides picked up a couple penalties during that last jam. They're going to be down 2 blockers.
Hattori Hanzo, just before the whistle there, ducked down to the inside, saw something opening up.
She saw that lane wide open, and she took it.
Absolutely. Scott kind of sneaking down there, trying not to catch Cryptic Callie's attention before the whistle, and she is your lead jammer for the Beauties.
Another very strong rookie this season. We've got a bunch. Tori coming up on her first scoring pass. She's able to break through, and out she goes.
Hattori Hanzo on through the pack for the Brutal Beauties, coming around for some more now. The pack itself trying to move on around as a sentient being, apparently, into the back straightaway. Hattori Hanzo now approaching the pack. And with a bump, that Runaway Brides blocker bumped her off onto the infield. Hattori Hanzo gets the wave by, and Hattori Hanzo picks up more points. Cryptic Cali for the Runaway Brides pinned in against the rail there is just playing defense here with the Brides down 2 blockers. Hitori Hanzo not quite able to make it back to the pack before the jam clock expires.
Looks like Tori's going to be sitting in the penalty box for this next jam. She got a cut and an illegal block during that last jam, so they're going to be down a jammer. We've got a power jam for the Brides. However, Tori did pick up 9 points for the Beauties.
So the power jam for the Runaway Brides underway. And an opening there, you saw one of the blockers for the Brides kind of pull down a little bit and just let the jammer through, and she is out and clear. That is going to be Watermelon. And finishing off her first scoring pass. Watermelon now coming around for some more.
Watermelon able to get past Slea there on that inside. We've got the Brides trying to deliver some good offense for their jammer. Still has about 3 seconds left. Trying to get as many points as possible. And that's the jam. We've got a couple of those Beauties blockers that picked up penalties during that last jam, so they're going to be sitting in the penalty box.
Setting up in the jammer line is going to be Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides. For the Brutal Beauties, Evil Twin. Fun fact about Evil Twin, her sister is also named Evil Twin.
Just let that one hang in the air for a second.
Oh, do I see what I see? I just saw the Brides execute a panty pass. Anita Margarita will now be your jammer. The jammer can take off her panty and her helmet panty and give it to the pivot, and then the pivot becomes the active scorer. That is the only other person on the track. The pivot is the one with the stripe on the helmet. She is the only other person that can take the star and become your active scorer for that jam. I don't think I've ever seen the Brides do a helmet star pass.
Setting
There's
up now the
first
jam
time.
is going to be Beautiful Trauma for the Brutal Beauties. And for the Runaway Brides, jamming for the first time this evening, number 00, Novocaine. Novocaine playing a little bit of jammer defense, just a little bit of jammer defense there, knocking Beautiful Trauma airborne onto the infield and then proceeding on her way to take lead jammer status, because that's
Wow.
what you do in your Novocaine.
Nova skates so fast. Look at that. Look at her go.
Novocaine.
With some good offense from her daughter, she's able to break out of that pack.
That's right, it is a family affair. Lightning the Queen there is Novocaine's daughter. Lightning the Queen up in the front of the defense now. Pats her mom on the back as she goes on by. Beautiful Trauma now trying to get around Lightning the Queen. Lightning the Queen runs her off onto the infield. Trauma not able to swing around her. Novocaine now is going to try to finish off another scoring pass.
Novocaine able to avoid the Beauties' defensive blockers. Looking at the clock, waiting for it to run out, and that's the jam.
$15 points up on the board for Novocaine and the Runaway Brides there. Beautiful Trauma picked up a penalty, so we are going to have a power jam for the Runaway Brides. Goldie Blocks is out there to power jam for the Brides here with 6:40 to go in the third quarter.
Goldie Blocks able to just carve her way through that, juking high and low, and able to break out and avoid those blockers.
And there along goes Goldie Blocks, completing a scoring pass for the Brides. Those Brutal Beauties defenders now together at the front of the pack. And ripping her way through there and trying to open a lane for Goldilocks as one of the blockers for the Brides. Goldilocks now, the pack gets a little staggered, and she's trying to find a way through. It gets pinned in along the rail by the defender with 12 seconds to go in the power jam. Now a big collision. A little bit of offense there from her blockers, and Goldilocks on through the pack. And that'll do it for the jam clock.
We've got Princess Leia on the jammer line for your Beauties and Milani Mangler for your Brides.
10 points up on the board there during that power jam for the Runaway Brides. 5.5 minutes to go until the end of the third quarter. Fun fact about Princess Leia, her brother. Never mind, the jam started. It saved you all from a terrible Star Wars joke. Princess Leia now to the front of the pack, trying to find her way there and able to get around the outside using the corner to her advantage, and is your lead jammer for the Beauties. Milani Mangler out behind and is going to try to close the gap here and force the issue as Princess Leia navigates her way through a staggered out pack, gets to the front and calls it off. Milani Mangler may have been able to pick up some points there at the back end of the pack. We'll have to check with the referees and find out.
Looks like Leia picked up 3 points for the Beauties, but the Brides also picked up 2.
Witchy Woman now on the jammer line for the Brutal Beauties, and it's going to be Anita Margarita for the Runaway Brides. And Anita Margarita quickly to the front of the pack and is your lead jammer for the Brides. Witchy Woman trying to find her way through. Got one blocker to deal with, but that blocker now gets back up.
Oh, Hattori Hanzo delivering a hard hit to Hollywood.
Anita Margarita finishes off a scoring pass. Witchy Woman now inching forward and waiting for her blockers to get into position.
Anita Margarita able to sweep right on through that inside. Beauties now all playing defense. Witchy Woman breaks out of that pack. There's still 10 seconds left.
Witchy Woman catching up to the pack. Anita Margarita was coming out of the turn at the time. Straightens up in the front straightaway and calls the jam off. Witchy Woman able to grab a couple points there on the back end of the pack.
We've got La Chancla on the jammer line for your Brides. With Quiver Phoenix taking that jammer line for your Beauties. Each team is going to be down a blocker, so it'll be 3-on-3 in the box. Oh, Chancla taking herself down a little bit too far and came off the track. Got a little bit of a pile up here in turn 1.
Now a collision there at the back of the pack.
But she is out.
And we're going to have a stoppage in play. Looks like we had a skater down for a second. Took her a second to get up and get back on the wheels, but back to the bench under her own power. So that did bring a stop to that jam. So the medical staff over just to check on her, make sure everything's all right.
We do want to give you a heads up that on April 27th, that's next Saturday, you should join your Doomsday Valkyries for the Apocalypse 2019. Go hang out with your favorite post-apocalyptic warrior women at Boycott Bar in the Melrose District for a taco fundraiser that'll set your taste buds on fire. This year's Apocalypse will also host an epic raffle. I believe we are up to 17 different prizes that you could win. Don't miss out. Show up at Boycott Bar on April 27th at 6 o'clock for some tacos, aguas frescas, and raffle prizes.
like, I'll literally just walk over there, and I'll be there. I got to run to my show. I've got a show at the theater up around the corner. So I'll be gone for like an hour in between, but I will be there before and after. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I sucked I didn't get to be at last year's, you know, because I had the festival, at the theater festival.
I think I had a performance and then I went afterwards.
Yeah.
And so I was there after everything.
Yeah, I think when I walked in, it was like Becker and Harley and one other person were still there, and they were like putting the last crock pots away. I was like, oh, bummer. I'm really amped. I'm excited.
Oh, it looks like the jammer for the Brides committed a penalty during that last jam, so it's going to be a power jam for your Brutal Beauties.
Power jam for the Brutal Beauties. On the jammer line now, Evil Twin, number 925, another one of our promising young rookie skaters here in the league, having joined the league within the last couple of drafts. Fun fact about Evil Twin, her sister, Good Twin, skates for the Gentle Beauties, who are not part of this league. Power jam now, Evil Twin along the rail, trying to find a way to the front. Her offense now spinning around to the aid of her as she's big collision there. Another one of the Brides blockers goes down. We're about halfway through the power jam. Evil Twin down to the inside, finds almost an opening, but that closes quickly. It's clotted up with black jerseys. Now trying to make her way through, trying to find an open.
We've got Lady Macbeth taking the jammer line for your Brutal Beauties.
And that's Milani Mangler for the Runaway Brides. And the clock begins on the jam. Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Milani Mangler quickly to the front and is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Lady Macbeth also able to break out of the pack here. She is half a track behind Milani Mangler. And she calls it before Lady Mac gets any points.
So 4 points on the board for the Brides, and that will leave room for one more jam here in the third quarter. This is going to be Little Bo Reap for the Runaway Brides and Hitori Hanzo for the Brutal Beauties. Hitori Hanzo finding her way to the front of the pack first, trying to find a gap in the defense, but none is coming, and exiting the pack as lead jammer is going to be Little Bo Reap for the Brides as the clock expires on the third quarter. And Hitori Hanzo escorted to the infield again by that Brides defense. Little Bo Reap around the outside.
Brides doing a great job of recycling in front of that jammer. Not letting her out. Meanwhile, Little Bo Reap comes around for more. She still has about 15 seconds left in the clock. It looks like all of the beauties are going to be playing defense for this. And Little Bo Reap calls the jam. And it looks like we're going into quarter break.
So we will step aside from the action here briefly. We've got a raffle prize to announce, and that raffle ticket is now in front of me. So get those coral-colored raffle tickets out. Your winning raffle ticket for this drawing is 897933. 897933. Come on down to the prize table and claim your prize.
We're still looking for a winner for raffle ticket number 897933. Ticket number 897933. Please come and claim your raffle prize over at the raffle table.
Don't look now, but it's the Minor Assaults Merchandise Crew. It's a crew of one. It's a small crew. It's a solo crew. I think solo crew is just called going for a row, actually, so. All right, Derby fans, as we get ready to resume the action here in the fourth quarter, one more time as the warehouse is filling up rapidly, as fans who are just arriving for the second bout are filtering in. Usually about this time I warn you to, if you've parked at the dispensary's parking, to go move your car because it'll get towed, but tonight I think the vice versa is the same. As crowded as that place was today, when 420 happens on a Saturday, that's going to happen. So fans, if you see anybody from the dispensary parking in the Derby Dames parking, be sure to let us know. But also, don't forget to stay behind that yellow line. I'm kidding about the dispensary. They're great folks. Stay behind that yellow line at all times around the track. That's for real. And that's for your own safety, as well as to keep you out of the way of the bout production staff, such as our outside-the-pack referees and our photography crew. So once again, with that whistle from our game executioner, Freya Huggs, that means you need to be behind that yellow line now until the end of the bout. So keep away from the edge of the track.
On we go into our fourth quarter of the first game. Our next game is going to be the Coffin Draggers versus the Schoolyard Scrappers. Make sure you stick around for that one as well. Thank you so much for being here with us. As Militia runs her way through the inside and is your lead jammer for this jam.
Militia now making her way down the back straightaway and catching up to the pack. Brutal Beauties trying to get their jammer sprung free as Militia gets around the outside of the track. Gypsy Danger now finding her way along the inside as her blockers opened up a path for her. So Militia now going to try to get back and pick up a couple more points, but that's going to do it. Militia calls off the jam with Gypsy Danger coming on with a full head of steam.
We've got Hitori Hanzo digging that jammer line for your beauties. Looks like Militia committed a penalty during that last jam, so they're going to be down a jammer and a blocker.
So it looks like it is time for a Brutal Beauties power jam. Power jam is underway now. Hitori Hanzo along the inside trying to find an opening. Hitori Hanzo, Beauties trying to find a little success, trying to get their jammer free as Hitori Hanzo quickly to the front of the pack. Shakes away around a blocker there. And with Abby Arsenic running interference at the front of the pack, Hitori Hanzo able to shake free. So Hitori Hanzo halfway through the power jam now.
Looks like Hitori Hanzo's coming up on a very strong defensive wall from your brides as they try to recycle in front. Hitori Hanzo is almost out of that pack on the inside, but greeted by some more Runaway Brides in the front. Beauty's trying to play some offense. and or hold a go it in the back. Pretty Please delivering a hit to that jammer, taking her to the infield.
That's going to do it. Jam clock expires.
Looks like Tori was able to pick up 5 points for your beauties.
Tori Hanzo able to get her hips in front of each of the 5 skaters there, even though she never really cleared the pack. So finishes the scoring pass and picks up 5 points in the power jam.
Definitely. Once you pass that blocker once, you've already gotten her point. But as you can see, they end up recycling, which means getting in front of that jammer again repeatedly to prevent her from going around for another scoring pass.
Darting quickly to the front of the pack and lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties. That is Princess Leia. Lightning the Queen clear of the pack as well and is trying to catch up to her and force the issue. And Princess Leia gets around that first blocker and calls off the jam. 1 point for the Beauties.
We've got Abby Arsenic taking that jammer line for your Brutal Beauties.
Jamming for the Runaway Brides is going to be Holly Hood.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that loves glitter quite as much as Abby does. She's pretty fantastic. Meanwhile, back to roller derby. Holly Hood runs straight on through that coping. She is your lead jammer for this jam. Abby Arsenic, half a track behind her, running right on through. But unable to procure any points. Holly Hood calling that jam off before Abby's able to pick up any points.
Four points up on the board for the Runaway Brides. It's going to be Ellie Mayhem jamming for the Runaway Brides and Gypsy Danger for the Brutal Beauties. Ellie Mayhem along the inside there to the corner, and she is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Quiver Phoenix delivering a hit, trying to get her jammer out, and she is out. And going very fast. Quiver Phoenix able to take Ellie Mayhem down. Fairly short jam because Gypsy Danger put on that speed and was able to get very close to almost scoring some points.
So 4 points up for the Brides. It's going to be Anita Margarita for the Runaway Brides and jamming for the Brutal Beauties, number 97, Rigamaru. Rigamaru down to the inside, bumped off onto the infield, had an opening there, but took a block. Anita Margarita able to clear the pack. Rigamaru trying to find an opening. Anita Margarita races around the outside to complete a scoring pass. And Rigamaru now clear of the pack as well. Rigamaru out there showing that rock on her finger is not throwing off her balance whatsoever. Anita Margarita now able to finish her scoring pass and calls off the jam. 9 points up for the Brides. It's going to be Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties. And no, it's not Princess Leia. About 8 people just yelled at me. Quiver Phoenix for the Brutal Beauties. My eyesight's so bad I saw a 4-digit number and I thought it was Princess Leia. I'm sorry.
It's cool. I'll fact check for you. You're good.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I can tell by the red shorts that it's Milani Mangler for the
Yeah.
Runaway Brides. And Milani Mangler's out and clear. Yeah, not to play too much inside baseball, but like I really can't see much of anything. So a lot of what I'm announcing is made up, believe it or not. Along the front straightaway there, Milani Mangler trying to find her way through, and she's got a blocker. It looked like it was clinging to her leg for a little stretch of the way there, trying to hold herself up on the track. And a big collision there. Looks like that was, yeah, indeed, that was the jammer for the Beauties, Quiver Phoenix, that was knocked off onto the infield. Milani Mangler makes her way around with about 9 seconds to go on the jam clock here. Finishes the scoring pass, and that's going to do it for the jam clock. Jam clock expires. And it looks like once all the penalties have been assessed, it appears indeed, yes, we are going to have a power jam for the Brutal Beauties. Again, it is a penalty called on the Runaway Brides jammer in the last jam. So Witchy Woman out there now to do the power jam for the Brutal Beauties. I'm going to keep working on that. That was a little too Vincent Price, I think. Witchy Woman now mid-pack trying to find her way through as the pack makes their way into the back straightaway. Strong wall of Runaway Brides defenders at the front of the pack are going to make it challenging, though, as Witchy Woman trying to find an opening.
We've got the Beauties trying to hold a goat in the back, but they're going to have to go a little bit slower than that to split that pack. Meanwhile, Abby Arsenic breaking off of that back defensive wall, trying to go and play some offense for her jammer. And Witchy is out, and she's got 21 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time for a scoring pass.
Brutal Beauties have the strategy set up here. You can see they've got a Runaway Bride skater pinned in behind so they can control the pace of play. Witchy Woman now trying to deal with those blockers on the front end of the pack. Strategy is to get those blockers stretched far enough away that they're called out of play. Then the clock expires on the jam while we're mid-strategy talk.
Looks like Holly had picked up a directional block during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting in the penalty box. The Brides will be down a blocker.
4 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties during that last power jam. And this time, I'm sure of it, it's Princess Leia on the jammer line for the Brutal Beauties and going up against La Chancla for the Runaway Brides.
La Chancla size 9. All right, Princess Leia able to almost make it out, and then she's able to bounce right back up because she landed on the track. La Chancla putting on that pressure. She's a fast skater too. We've got ourselves a jammer race. Princess Leia calls it because La Chancla got way too close for comfort.
Setting up to jam now for the Runaway Brides is number 100, Cryptic Kelly, and stepping up to the jammer line for the first time this evening for the Brutal Beauties, number 92, Alpha Gunna Dekya.
This is her first bout ever.
First bout, first jam, no pressure, it's fine. Everything's fine, everything's good. Dog drinking beer with fire around him, everything's fine.
Alpha Ganadekia trying to break herself through that, or make her way through that pack.
Cryptic Kelly, though, finds an opening along the inside, and Cryptic Kelly is your lead jammer for the Brides. Alpha Ganadekia now trying to fight past that last blocker, but they got her pinned in against the rail. Now a big block from one of her blockers, Abby Arsenic, trying to spring her loose. Meanwhile, Cryptic Kelly on a scoring
Alpha
pass.
Ganadekia almost out, but Annihilate is not letting her break through.
Hey, you know, it's fine, kid. Just jump out there in your first jam and have to take on Annihilate one-on-one. No big deal. Alpha Ganadekia still trying to find her way through with 15 seconds to go in the jam. Cryptic Kelly fights her way along the inside. Alpha Ganadekia now bumped and up to the front of the pack. Annihilate and Goldie Blocks are going to pin her in against the rail with about 4 seconds to go here. And that'll do it. The jam clock expires. That cheer goes up from the crowd. You only get one first-time jam ever, and there it is for one of our rookies here in the league, Alpha Ganadekia.
Brand spanking new rookie. Very first bout, just tested out on Sunday. Super proud of all of our rookies this season. They truly have shown such promise for the future of our league. It's awesome.
Up to
Lady Mac, another rookie, taking the jammer line for the Beauties.
Up against Novocaine, who is not a rookie for the Runaway Brides. Novocaine trying to use that rail for leverage. You see her just using her arm to propel herself along and able to fight her way through those blockers, and Novocaine out and clear.
Novocaine coming up for her first scoring pass. approaching a wall of beauties here in the back. Phoenix and Jamit doing a great job. Novocaine tried to call it off, but she came off the track. Lady Mac taking that lead jammer roll and then calling off the jam before Nova was able to get back on that track.
2 points on the board there for the Brutal Beauties. Up to the jammer line now is going to be Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides. And also 2 points for the Brides there as well. So the Brides picking up 2 points in that jam as well. Anyhow, Holly Hood for the Brides and Hitori Hanzo for the Brutal Beauties.
Woo! Holly Hood able to lateral right on down that track and pop right back up, running through that inside. Hitori Hanzo trying to break past those last Bride blockers.
Holly Hood racing through the pack and completing the scoring pass. Hitori Hanzo gets past that last blocker, able to beat that blocker to the rail, and Hitori Hanzo is clear. So Holly Hood now going to try to finish off this scoring pass and navigates her way around her front blockers and calls it off.
We've got about 1 minute and 50 seconds left of the fourth quarter of this first game, but don't worry because we've got more. Stick around for the second bout of the night of the playoffs. The winners from both of these games will be heading into the championship bout, which will take place on May 4th. Princess Leia jamming for the Beauties, able to run out on turn 1. Ellie Mayhem, a quarter of a track behind her.
So Princess Leia now trying to catch up to the pack. Runaway Brides are at the front of the pack now. Leia tries to get up there. Gets past one blocker. Looks like she indeed got 1 point as we get the word from the infield.
Rigamaru taking that jammer line for the Beauties. Up against Anita Margarita for your Brides.
Just trying to think of some good wedding theme puns for Rigamaru, but I don't know. I'm not really married to any of them yet. Rigamaru now trying to find her way through the pack. Up to the front now, gets a blocker and shaking loose out of the pack. That's Rigamaru. And she's out and clearing as your lead jammer. For the Brutal Beauties, now up to the front of the pack is your jammer for the Runaway Brides. Pinned in against that rail, tries to spin around a blocker now. Rigamaru also into trouble. Had a skater get rolled up on from behind, but she's back up and looks like she's all right. Rigamaru finishes off the scoring pass for the Brutal Beauties, and she gets through. Anita Margarita now blocked off onto the infield. That pivot for the Brutal Beauties, giving it all up with 11 seconds to go on the game clock. So still plenty of fight left in the Brutal Beauties here.
Looks like there was enough time left on that clock for one more jam, and it looks like the Bride's jammer committed a penalty during that last jam, so it's going to be a power jam for your Beauties. With Alpha Ganadekia doing the honors for your Beauties as the jammer.
And with the quarter clock expired, this will be the last jam in regulation. So let's get a cheer going up from all the Brutal Beauties fans in the house here. Brutal Beauties have fought well, and this here is going to be a power jam for their newest rookie. And she is out and almost clear, and now is clear, able to get around Ellie Mayhem there. So Alpha Ganadekia. Fun fact about Alpha Ganadekia, she is the newest member of this team. Been on the team less than a week. Alpha Ganadekia now with 28 seconds to go here in the power jam. Catches up to the pack now. Trying to negotiate her way through the pack and pick up some points here. Runs into a blocker and is deposited unceremoniously onto the track. A Runaway Brides defense says, first power jam ever or not, you are going to be deposited onto your face. 6 seconds to go in the power jam. Still trying to get there to the front of the pack and get herself a couple of points here, and that's going to do it for the jam clock. 2 points up on the board for the Brutal Beauties there during the power jam. And that'll do it for regulation. We're going to wait now and check with the referees and see the penalty situation. If there are penalties on the team that's ahead and none on the team that's behind, then we'll continue with penalty jams. And we'll have to wait and see. And that is indeed the situation here. The Brutal Beauties able to skate that whole power jam clean. No penalties on the Brutal Beauties, and penalties assessed to the Runaway Brides. So it is going to be a penalty jam. So we put 1 second back on the game clock. We are into bonus time.
Abby Arsenic doing the honors for your Beauties. Up against Little Bo Reap from your Brides.
And this penalty jam is underway and quickly blasting out of the pack both jammers, and they call it off right away. So that's one sure way to make sure nobody picks up any penalties. We will double check and make sure that is the case. Thank you. All right, head referee Lollipop now making her way out to the official place where things are made official. And there it is, officially speaking. That is going to do it for the first bout of the night. And one half of the championship bout is set with a final score of 387-40. The Runaway Brides, your number 1 seed in the 2019 playoffs, are through to the championship bout. Coming on around now and slapping hands. So the Runaway Brides now will wait to find out if they're going to face the Coffin Draggers or the Schoolyard Scrappers in the championship on May 3rd. And now, fans, we'd like to really get a good cheer going here for the Brutal Beauties making their way around. It is going to conclude the Brutal Beauties 2018-2019 season. They improved on their standings from last year, finished last year in 5th place and missed the playoffs. This year did make the playoffs as the 4 seed. Team was heavily beset with injuries throughout the year, lost their team captain before they even started. Able to fight through, frequently had subs skating to help them fill out their roster, but held tough and made